last season and produced 17 points last game. Ibang klaseng pakiramdam ang maging frontrunner ng Navy para sa kanya. Malaki man daw yung pressure para punan yung posisyon ni former Sea Lion Jao Umandal. Pressure is what makes an upcoming star player shine as standards will push him to become better. Back to you, Belin Gotroni.
Thank you for that report, Alexis. Of course, as we all know, Jao Umandal in a different team here in our open conference.
And so are many others.
There's been a shift of players.
The Rigodon has really erupted in the Spikers turf.
It's been an interesting season or conference so far for all our squads.
After nung PNBF Champions League, Billy, I think that was the best showcase that was made possible to the Spikers turf teams. We're interested to join in 2023 and suddenly,
dami na, no?
Hindi lang pa isa-isa.
11 teams right now here in our open conference.
Saka yung mga lumipat, di ba?
As we get back to this game, still a 1-point lead for the volley hitters. And again, Greg Delor continues his dominance here in set number 1.
From the opposite, from the open, from the back row, no problem for Greg Delor. And once again, he continues to be the focal point of their offense. Good fight back after giving up a 6-2 run sa Vanguard. As they lost a 2-point lead earlier, now ties the count at 8 on 2 straight points.
They'll give this one to Diwa, and he is denied.
And Sabida liked that last offensive block earlier. Diwa scored against them. Actually, si Diwa yung nagpahabol dito eh. Tapos Villegas, binalasa kay Paliso, kay Abrot.
And Diwa also the 39th best scorer in the league right now in terms of our rankings. So far, so good for him in this game. As Vince Abrot scores one of his own.
Excellent placement coming from Vince Abrot. Going long, going deep. No one guarding that zone. Blockers were delayed. And Dolor just could not get
and right now,
to that spot.
Vince Abrot is getting that much-needed support that we were talking about, Coach Ron, in that pre-game. Nandiyan si Diwa, si Palisok also doing well here in set number 1.
And that is also a tribute to Villegas.
We got a rally going on here. Again, Diwa. Ball is kept alive. They send it over to the white shirts. Play continues. Kamag-anakan will try off the block, gets the point.
You can almost say that this is already an elimination match. For me, after looking at the team standings, and seeing how Imus defeated Philippine Army. Isipin mo sa team ng Navy, pang-5. Pero pag natalo, bababa sila sa pang-6, pang-7, pang-8, pang-9. Kasama itong Vanguard, Army. Suarez commits that dump error. 8-all earlier after a 2-point run. Vanguard goes up to a 3-1 counter. Villegas so far holding forth laban dito kay Owen Suarez.
Again, 9-11 is our score. Vanguard in the lead. Abrot to serve for the white shirts. It was a good serve. And a good dig as well for Navy. Kamag-anakan.
Oh, miss hit.
That is outside.
Still a good set coming from Villegas. A lot of flair. Villegas is not in the top 10 among the best setters, but we know for a fact what he can do as a playmaker. Nobody in the top 10 likewise in terms of spike percentage para sa Vanguard. And those are things that they want to improve on.
They're going to give this one to Kamag-anakan again. Ball is kept alive. Just a little too short there for Navy. They weren't able to send that ball over. And so the point will go to the volley hitters as we take a look at the replay of that sequence. Nasipa yung bola pataas.
Buhay pa yan. Legal yan.
As our team captain, Villegas, is on deck to serve for the white shirts. 12 serving 10. Suarez again will try.
Better set.
That was Marcelino.
Yes, yung unang set was to the back of Marcelino, could not finish off that point. And in the rebound play, Marcelino from Suarez. Bubble block was not there to close. Navy still behind by 1 here in set number 1.
It's proving to be quite a tight set for both our squads.
May pressure na eh.
As we end our preliminary round.
Ooh,
March 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Lapit na, no?
Palapit na, Coach Ron.
Tatapos lang unang 2 buwan.
So there has to be that sense of urgency for all our
Especially
teams.
for those teams outside of the Final Four.
Exactly.
Or top 4, rather. Excellent defense para dito sa Vanguard.
Good coverage for both squads. They need a point here. That was a good
Naibalik pa rin.
dig. We got a pretty long rally. Villanova will try. Again, we got to credit the libero of the volley hitters. That is Alfaro, Rek Alfaro. Chance here for Navy.
Finally, goes to the middle hitter. Sapida scores his first point. Good distribution coming from Suarez. Bantayado si Marcelino, hindi nakakarating kay Dolor. Oh, that's a nice angled dink coming from Navy for a 2-point run.
Alfaro was just a little too late to pick up that ball. Could have extended that rally, but right now, we are at a deadlock here in set number 1. Villegas will go to Palisok. Doesn't go over. It will be an attack error for Raz Palisok.
Navy finally regains the driver's seat after being behind by 2. The first set is always a good one to pocket. Pambuelo mo yan, ang palakas ng loob.
Palisok again. Suarez will go to Dolor, and he is blocked.
That's the second block for Diwa. Earlier, he had one on Entig. Now in the open, Dolor is checked by Diwa. 2 offensive blocks for a team which is number 10 in blocking. Although meron silang 33 kill blocks, they're ranked number 10 behind Navy, which is at number 4. And they average 2 blocks per set, talking about the Sea Lions of Coach Cecil Cruzada.
As Diwa will serve for the white shirts. There to go to Villanueva again. Good dig by Diwa,
Ganda ng
doing
floor
everything.
Defense. Ang ganda ng floor defense talaga ng Vanguard so far.
Villanueva one more time challenging those blockers, and that will be a violation called on the Vanguard volley hitters.
That was all by call for that net touch. No challenge here so far from Coach Edjet Mabayad.
Albay quickly apologizes to Coach Edjet. Navy again in the lead, 14-13. It's been a push and pull affair for set number 1. He gives to the other side.
Nice.
That was Kamag-anakan.
Smart play coming from Kamag-anakan, and sometimes not all about power. It's about reading the defense. Soft hit. Surprises the defender. Going down the line, very tight for Kamag-anakan.
And now they tie this game 14-all. Villanueva again.
Another net touch. Remember the 29 errors committed by Vanguard versus Imus. That was costly.
Let's take a look at what happened there. That was clearly a net touch violation called on Vince Abrot.
And because Villanueva is a scoring threat, because of the way he played there in their last match, ngayon binabantayan siya.
Na-check na siya sa game na ito.
Importante, binabantayan siya. Hindi lang kila Dolor at Marcelino yung depensa.
That is a point.
Touch by Kamag-anakan. Good break for Greg Dolor. And the rest of Coach Cecil's Sea Lions up to second technical timeout.
We're back here. You're watching the 2023 Spikers Surf Open Conference. The PGJC Navy Sea Lions are taking on the Vanguard Volley Hitters. This is set number 1. Here with me, Billy Capistrano, Coach Ronnie Magsanok, and of course, our courtside reporter, Alexis Tinsay. And right now the score is 16-14 in favor of the Sea Lions.
Sea Lions coming off a 4-set win versus the Philippine Air Force. Vanguard, meanwhile, going down in defeat in 4 sets. That will be their 4th straight loss. And trying to rebound and get a next step higher into the team standings. As right now, they are ranked number 9 with only 5 games remaining in their playing schedule.
So we are nearing the end of our preliminary round as Villanueva scores an ace.
Biggest lead for the Sea Lions. And after the technical timeout, Coach Edget will call another timeout here para sa Vanguard Valley Hitters.
Huwag natin yan bumagsak ng ganun yung bola kasi yun naman yung inside natin, di ba? Okay, start lang natin naman dyan, ha? Go, diskarte. Dalawa. Go tayo, go.
Tatlo lang yan, pre, ha? Kami Vanguard!
Right now, Navy holding on to that 3-point lead, and they're trying to pull away from the volley hitters. It's been a very, very close set number 1 so far.
Right. Problems for Vanguard, number 10 in spike percentage, number 10 in blocks, number 10 in reception. And right now, that is something that's top of mind for them after giving up that last point on that service ace from Marvin Villanueva.
Speaking of, Villanueva is on deck to serve for the Sea Lions, and that will be a service error. A free point will be given to the volley hitters. They are down by just 2 points, and we have some substitutions for Coach Edget Mabayad.
Setter Disuyo coming in. Likewise, Tolentino for Villegas and Palisok. Situational subs, designated server, trying to overcome a 2-point deficit.
And right on cue, Desuyo will be serving for the white shirts. It is 15, serving 17 here in set number 1.
Naku po.
And right off the bench, Coach Ron, a service error. And that point will be given to the Sea Lions, and it will further their lead to 3 points.
Napalakad palayo si Coach Edget eh. Oh, nice serve, nice serve.
And a service ace for the team captain.
8 of 24 receptions for Vince Abrot in their last loss. Sorio for Abrot. Defense for offense. Lead is at 4 for the Sea Lions late here in set 1.
Delore will try one more time. Chance ball here for Navy. And that was Entig with a quick.
And I think the marginal run so far was before the second technical timeout. From that point on, it has been a 4-1 run para dito sa Navy. Up 5 right now versus Vanguard Valley Hitters.
Hindi natin mahuhuli kung tatalon tayo sa abutin natin ganun. Lagi lang lulusot sa atin yan. Okay? Tapos ayan na naman, di ba? Kayo magkakatabi. Ito nga blockings natin, di ba? So hindi kayo nagsasalita. Okay, turo nyo yung tao, ha? Sige, let's go. Isa-isayin natin yan. Hindi pa tapos yan, ha?
And from a pretty close start to the set number 1, we now see Navy starting to pull away from the Vanguard volley hitters. It is a 5-point lead for the blue shirts.
And you can say that it was not given to them. Tinrabaho nila eh. Separation right now is at 5 points. Started with Marvin Villanueva's excellent form from the service line.
And Navy just showing a little bit more consistency as compared to the volley hitters. Good floor coverage. They're to give it to Tolentino. He's coming off that bench. Chance here for the volley hitters. Tolentino hesitating a little bit. Suarez to Villanueva. And that will be too strong for Villanueva. A chance here for Vanguard to regain that momentum.
Confidence and consistency, 2 things that Villanueva needs to work on. Otherwise, it's a very good weapon para dito sa team ng Sea Lions. given the absence still of Jude Garcia.
Obay to serve. Suarez.
Siguraduhan. Porsyentuhan. Suarez makes sure that Dolor gets his touch. First to 20, 4 points away from winning the first set. Up 5 once again with misdirection by Entig at the middle.
Greg Dolor, we all know what he's capable of, just leading this team here in set number 1. We got Entig serving. Kamag-anakan will give it to Tolentino. Suarez with a 1-2 play, unsuccessful. Tolentino again, but hits the antenna, quickly apologizes to his team. Puntos para sa Navy.
And sometimes you just have to make a decision kung ibabalik mo lang as free ball or give up that free point. Especially time, score, game situation.
Biggest lead in our set so far. Chance here for the volley hitters. They gotta get something good.
Yan yung sinasabi ko. Hindi na inatake ng Silayos. Binalik lang nila. And what happened was, ang nagkamali pa ay ang volley hitters.
Now Vince Abrot, he's gonna check in.
I just want to play the percentages at times, especially situation and score should always be your compass in terms of decision making.
It's now a 7-point lead for the Sea Lions. They are poised to win the set number 1. Another attack error for the volley hitters.
Second straight. The score earlier was at 16-14, and since that time, this has been an 8-2 major run for the Sea Lions. Aces, attack points, and making the right decision. Suarez also able to keep their offense in full throttle up to this point.
Set point na ang Sea Lions. And finally, a point for Vanguard via Vince Abrot.
Nung nawala si Vince Abrot, nawala yung opensa nila. He may have given up an ace, but you cannot overlook that without Vince Abrot, talagang mababa yung porsyento na lang maka-atake.
And he has been leading this team this whole conference.
Oh.
That's going to be another attack error, Coach Ron, for the Vanguard volley hitters to end set number 1, which will go to the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. We're back and you are still watching the 2023 Spikers Turf Open Conference. This is a game between the PGJC Navy Sea Lions and the Vanguard Volley Hitters. And the Navy Sea Lions take set number 1.
Well, definitely. They were ahead early on. They were behind in the midpoint. But when we got to the second technical timeout, Greg Dolor once again heavy lifting, but getting enough support from Sapida and Tig. And of course, itong si Villanueva at Marcelino. More scorers for them. Better offense. Steady likewise. Lesser errors for the Sea Lions. And the Vanguard volley hitters shooting themselves in the foot with some reception errors and multiple attack errors in the last part of that first set. And eventually, after a tight set na kung saan isa-dalawa lamang yung palitan ng puntos, they will lose by 8 points, believe it or not. And those numbers will give you a glimpse as to how Navy was able to get past Vanguard by that much.
It was complete dominance towards the latter part of the set for the
bumaliktad
Navy Sea
no?
Lions. And sabi nga natin, Coach Ronnie, sobrang dikit siya sa start. It was very exciting to watch.
Lamang pa sila.
It was a push and pull affair for both our teams.
But then they have lost 4 straight. So kakapit talaga eh. Kaya nga para sa Sea Lions, ayaw mong maunahan ka kasi aangat yung kumpiyansa eh. Diba? There's a game plan that they have drawn up and they will try to push that game plan to the hill. Pag naunahan ka, tutuloy-tuloy yan.
And right now we are sensing that sense of urgency here for the Navy Sea Lions.
Yes, alam nila, pag hindi sila nakalusot dito, mahihirapan sila makarating sa Final Four. Dahil ilan na lang ang laro nila eh.
Top 3 teams. In the standings right now, we have Signal, Imos ITP, and D Navigators Iloilo.
Right.
We have Cotabato at 4th also.
3 unbeaten teams, 1 team with only 1 loss. So bibilangin mo rin yon. At yung natitira pang mga laban, di ba?
We have a couple of teams, Coach Ron, who aren't going to be playing anytime soon because they have they have players who are training in Taiwan right now.
Correct. A part of the national pool, of course, that will play in the Southeast Asian Games around May of this year. Good quick play, 0 tempo for Diwa, and scores the first point for Vanguard here in this set.
Hopefully, it is a sign for better things to come here for Vanguard. However, the Navy Sea Lions opening their set number 2.
Quick retaliation. Marcelino gave up an ace earlier, not this time. Goes back to him, attacks the double block, scores the first point for the Sea Lions here in this set.
Ball is still alive. They're going to give it to Villanueva.
Oh, nice.
That is inside for Villanueva.
Good cross-court winner coming from Villanueva. Finding the opening. And delivers a 2-point run for the Navy Sea Lions.
Marcelino will serve for Navy. Villegas will go to Kamaganakan. Nobody there for Navy.
Kamaganakan coming off a 4-point first set. He was the leading scorer para dito sa Vanguard. Doon sa kabuang 17 points nila. Also, itong si Kamaganakan had 7 points in their last loss versus the Imos Adja Spikers.
Suarez will go to Villanueva as Villegas back set. And that will be an error called on Navy as they give the point to the Vanguard volley hitters.
They can't afford to lose Greg Dolor after having Jude Garcia sidelined for the last 2 matches already.
There was a bit of worry when he fell on the floor, Coach Ron.
Oo, gingerly walking. Kasi mabigat yung schedule ng mga teams ngayon dahil hindi nga lalaro yung mga teams na yung mga players ay nasa Taipei.
And that does not go over for Greg Dolor. Attack error for him. And we have substitutions here. Sensing that Dolor needs a little bit of rest, they're going to field in Alfred Pagulong.
Just have to bide time and hope that Greg Dolor is attended to.
Villegas. Unsuccessful attack for Obay as Pagulong will send it over. Chance here for the volley hitters. Great blocking by Navy. They go to Vince Abrot. And they're going to give that point to the volley hitters.
There will be 3 straight points for the white shirts coming off 2 attack miscues for the Sea Lions, and that attack point from the number one scorer, si Vince Abrot, but this will be a ball-in, ball-out challenge on the part of Coach Cecil Cruzado.
So right now, Vanguard starting off strong, starting our set number 2 strong. They're up by 2 points, 4-2. As we await the replay on our screens and the final call for that challenge. Billy Capistrano with Coach Ronnie Magsanok, our courtside reporter Alexis Tinsay. As we take a look at the screen, that is ball in.
One more challenge remaining for Coach Cecil and the Sea Lions as Abrot pushes Vanguard 2 points ahead of Navy.
That was Brian Taboclao for the Navy Sea Lions on your screens a while back. Good defense for him. Puntos na naman para sa Navy Sea Lions.
Mukhang challenge si Coach Ejet. Pero sabi ni Villegas, I think that was a good call.
It will continue on. There will be no challenge.
Honest.
No challenge.
Nakita ko rin kanina yung kay Hero Austria. Inamin din niya eh. Sa challenge dapat sila. Inamin din niya na may block touch siya.
Suarez. Good blocking by the volley hitters. Villegas to Vince Abrot, and that is off the block for Vince.
Abrot over Villanueva. Scores off the block. Taas ang kumpiyansa nitong si Vince Abrot. Although he scored only 2 points in that first set loss. Abrot is coming off a 22-point performance. A 20 of 34 clip. And 8 of 24 in terms of reception efficiency.
So better showing now for Vanguard here. Villanueva will try. Ball still alive. They go to Vince. What a good dig. And they chase it. They will send it over. Credit Taboclao for that one.
That was Ellis.
And unfortunately, that will be straight to the net
Look at
for
Celis.
Palisok.
Ito si Taboclao papasok. Kanina
that's
si Celis.
Celis.
So, who slowed down that last attempt coming from Abrot. And then a stare down that followed. 3 points was the biggest lead for Vanguard earlier. Si Lions trying to hold on and fight back even without Greg Dolor inside right now.
So you gotta credit the liberos of both teams.
Magagaling ang liberos nitong dalawang teams na
It's a
ito.
great matchup for all three of them. Because for the part of Navy, they have been alternating between Taboclao and Celis. And that will be another point for the volley hitters.
Coming from Palisok. 3 points for Palisok. 2 in the first. 1 in the second set. Away from the blockers. Coverage was not there. Malapit si Villanueva pero hindi niya nabuhay yung bola.
Celis is back on the court. That will be another point for the volley hitters. They say that is outside as we go to our first technical timeout.
Coach Ronnie, Vanguard volley hitter Raz Palisok told me it could be a natural instinct to feel and stay down and feel powerless after a few losses. But knowing that they can drive the tide, mas pipiliin na lang nilang enjoyin to alleviate the pressure at mailabas ang tunay nilang laro. As what you've been seeing earlier, mas solidified ang kanilang blockings at floor defense. That is kontra sa strong wingers ng Navy. Let's see if they can seal one set from the PGJC Navy Sea Lions this set too.
Thank you so much for that report, Alexis. And we are seeing good defense from the Vanguard volley hitters.
Exactly.
Led by, of course, their libero, Rek Alfaro. As we get back to this game, Abrot will try, unsuccessful. Suarez will give it to Marcelino. Tabuklaw had a split-second decision to make. And
Natutuwa ako kay Celie sa Tabuklaw.
ang gagaling na Coach Ron.
Ang galing bumasa. Tignan mo ha.
He had a
That's a
split
drop
second.
coming from Marcelino. And then in this pancake, yun.
Buti na lang umiwas is a thing.
Tapos may lava walk.
Correct. As we get back to this game, Marcelino, right time, right place for him, good decision making. And now they are just down by 1 point.
And that was an over-reception para dito sa white shirts. Look at this last serve.
So may regalo.
Abrot. Yes, another problem para kay Abrot is yung reception efficiency niya at that will cost them that last point. 3 straight points para si Lions.
Villegas will give it to Abrot. Finally gets a point.
The accuracy of Abrot has really been up there. Has hardly missed. Just picking up where he left off in the previous match, where he was at a near 60% accuracy rate sa kanyang mga atake.
One of the highest scorers that we have in the league right now. Suarez.
They need more of that. They need Entig to really deliver those type of plays. And they have to be creative without Greg Dolor inside right now. That's a big challenge para kay Owen Suarez to make sure that ma-maximize yung kanyang mga wing spikers and of course yung kanyang middle blocker na si Entig.
Jemmy Entig serving now. That sails outside for him. Another point will go to the Vanguard volley hitters who have a 2-point advantage against Navy. For those who just tuned in, this is set number 2. And Navy got set number 1. That is outside. Service error naman para sa volley hitters.
First line of offense not working here for both teams. Both teams committing a service error apiece. Palitan lang.
And it's back to a 1-point lead for Vanguard. Slim 1-point lead for them. Villegas.
Wow, down the line, miss. Was that Palisok?
Yep.
That's Palisok. That was an excellent setup coming from Villegas, away from the blocker. Palisok was isolated, thus could not get that ball to drop inside.
Suarez will serve for the blue shirts as Villegas will
Good
set up
height.
kamag-anakan out of nowhere.
Combination play. Decoy move coming from Diwa. Frees up Joven Kamag-anakan. Kamag-anakan now with a total of 6 points. 4 in the first, 2 points here in set number 2.
Both teams on fire here in set number 2. Better showing as well for the volley hitters who are trailing behind in set number 1.
Their own version of that piston play. And even without Greg Delor, after being down at 8-4, this has been a good 7-3 counter para dito sa Navy Sea Lions.
We also like the body language of both teams. Clearly enjoying this game, Coach Ronnie.
Tinitignan ko rin yung mga coaches eh.
Focus naman sila sa nangyayari. As we get
Parati yan.
ball is kept alive. Palisok gets that point for the volley hitters. They advance by 1 point.
That was a good transition play for Palisok, redeeming himself after an attack error earlier. Isa kalamangan muli para dito sa Vanguard volley hitters.
So much like that first set na sa una, very tight talaga yung score natin, Coach Ronnie. It's also happening here. We'll see, you know, in the latter part,
Yes.
that second half of this set, kung parehas ba ang mangyayari. Well, so far, everything okay for both teams. That was pagulong. And
Good
hindi
push.
magpapatalo si Obay for the volley hitters.
Still no Greg Dolor, although he's up on his feet. Kanina nakaupo kasi siya. Ayan, no?
And hopefully we see him back in this game.
Nagpaparamdam na gusto niya bumalik.
Kamag-anakan on deck to serve for the white shirts. That was a quick one from Navy. How about Obay challenging the single blocker?
Oh,
That
just
will be
missed.
a point.
Just missed.
First referee calls it outside. And the point will go to the volley hitters. And right now they are up by 3 points against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. We have Jovs Kamag-anakan. Suarez to Villanueva.
Oh, they needed that. They needed that. Greg Dolor trying to get an eye contact with Coach Cecil Cruzada. Kanina pa siya hinuhuli niya.
Nagpaparamdam.
Yes. Kanina pa niya gustong bumalik. Tight.
Ball is still alive. Kamag-anakan. Malisok will try. He's denied. They send it over to Vince Abron.
That touch.
There's a net touch violation for Vince. Some breathing room here for Navy. And unfortunately, that will be a
Was that
service
Pagulo?
error. That is Alicando with a service error.
Also a rotation player para sa kanila. I thought that he lost his footing after serve.
And right now, Navy up by, that's Vanguard. Vanguard up by 2 points. As Villegas.
Oh,
There was a miscue there. A little miscommunication between Villegas and I think that was Obay on that play.
still no Greg Dolor.
Very
No
close.
contact.
And a close second set we're having right now, Coach
Disconnected
Ronnie.
on that last sequence. Very close first set, or second set. Wala si Greg. Aray.
Vince Abron. What a good dig, but sails outside. Way too strong for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions as we go to our second technical timeout. We're back here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center in the city of Manila, and you're watching the game between the Vanguard volley hitters, led by that guy over there, Raz Palisok, and of course, let's not forget the PGJC Navy Sea Lions with Owen Suarez, their main setter. This is set number 2. Vanguard holds on to a 2-point lead against the Sea Lions. Slide attack, unsuccessful, good blocking. They go to Pagulong. That will be a point for Pagulong. They say that is inside. And now we see the volley hitters will call a challenge. They're going to say that was ball out. They're going to call that as ball out as we await the replay on our screens. So what can you say, Coach Ron, about our set number 2?
Still waiting for Greg Dolor to make his re-entry because Vanguard is playing more confident without Greg Dolor inside for Navy. In spite of the fact na nakabalik ang Navy kanina, iba pa rin pag yung mayroon kang Greg Dolor na nasa loob.
Greg Dolor, we were talking about him, and he has been playing such an incredible conference. And based on the statistics, this might be his best tournament so far. We have Vince Abron and the rest of the volley hitters awaiting that challenge. They're looking at this big screen here, the Paco Arena, Events and Sports Center, as we await to see what will happen. False alarm. And Palisok also doing so well here in this game, and he is providing that much-needed firepower, much-needed support for Vince Abrot Obay as well. We have to mention him and his performance in this match. So there it is, as we take a look, ball in or ball out, and it is ball out. So that point will go the Vanguard volley hitters. Good challenge for them, Coach Ron.
Exactly, for a 3-point lead.
17.
Looking good at this stage. This was the part of the first set na kung saan bumaba yung laro nila.
And that was Entig with a slide attack that has been good for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Something that he is known for.
Let's see if Pagulong will be able to help out the Sea Lions in terms of offense. Did not score in their last win. Played only a single set. Came off the bench in set 3.
As Villegas will go to Palisok. He's outside.
Unguarded. Isolated. Instead, it's a 2-point run for the Sea Lions. 16 serving 17.
And if you remember, Coach Ron, it's around this time na umabante talaga yung Sea Lions versus Vanguard in set number 1. And this is without Greg Dolor.
Yes, ibang-iba. As Villegas locates Diva for that quick play for a 2-point lead para dito sa Vanguard.
So now it is Vanguard's turn to try to extend their lead. And that is a service ace for Vince Abrot.
That's a mental lapse on the part of Marvin Villanueva.
And again, wala pa rin si Greg Dolor on the court for Coach Cecil.
Parang hindi na ibabalik, ano? Muna.
But this time, service error naman for Vince Abrot.
Will this be enough?
As Alicando.
Kasi para lumalabas dito, palitan na lang eh, di ba?
Babalik na ulit sa 2-point lead ang volley hitters. We have Intig on deck to serve.
Was committed 2 service errors already in this match.
Better serve for him, Coach Ronnie. Good coverage. They go to Marcelino. Nobody there
Has
for
been very
the
quiet.
volley hitters.
With the departure of Greg Dolor, Marcelino has been very quiet. But right now, that last power tip will push them to point number 18, and Coach Ejet Babaya trying to map out a forthcoming play para sa Vanguard.
Gusto dito? Oh, patayo mo lang dyan.
Yes, sir.
Patayo mo lang dyan, pwede ditong bigay at sa gitna.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yun lang. Simulan natin sa pasa.
Kaliwa sa akin.
Tapos silain lang natin dito. Go na. Ha? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Pasa muna tayo, pre, pasa. Hey, Vanguard!
It is a 1-point lead for the Vanguard volley hitters here in set number 2. Still a pretty close set for both our teams. No Greg Dolor for Navy. Still on the bench after a fall that he suffered. So Coach Cecil just wants to make sure that he's going to be okay for the rest of this game as kamag-anakan. They go to Marcelino. He is denied. Babalik ulit kay Marcelino. Better attack for him.
Has to take charge. Has to ask for those touches. He has to lead. Without Greg Dolor inside, expect itong si Suarez to activate. Itong si Marcelino, time and again. Maximize him as he's in front in this rotation. Oh!
A little short there, not enough power, just a little short for kamag-anakan. Anakan wasn't able to send it over.
Tentative, no?
Nag-hesitate siya ng konti. Didn't really know what he wanted to do.
Good scoring run para dito sa Navy. 3 straight points for them on this Antique serve.
They take the lead. 1-point advantage now for the Sea Lions. And they're going to give a free ball to the blue shirts, and they will choose Marcelino. Good dig by Abrot. Babalik sa Navy ang bola. Suarez with a 1-2 play. And it is good for Owen Suarez.
Perfect timing for Suarez to give his team a 4-point run. Some problems here with the first ball of the white shirts.
Take a look at that. Owen Suarez, the veteran setter, making things happen for Navy as we go to a timeout.
Pwesto muna tayo rito. Kahit ito tumalon, sasabay ka ikaw dito. Huwag niyo iwanan, ha? Okay, dalawa lang naman yan eh. Dalawa lang yan. Okay? Kailangan turo mo lang yan. Turo. Okay? Go, go, go. Ito tayo. Go.
Pasa. Hey, Vanguard!
So just like that, the PGJC Navy Sea Lions take the lead from the Vanguard volley hitters here in set number 2.
We talked about the need for Marcelino to do some heavy lifting late here in the second set without Greg Delor. And that was the cue for Owen Suarez to also be a scoring threat. Down 4, now on top by 2.
We credit Owen Suarez as well, as I said, the veteran setter, distributing that ball for Navy as Vince Abrot gets a point. Tries to stop that bleeding. They are down by just 1 point against Navy.
Finally, Abrot gets his chance to attack. And he delivers point number 20. Nauna pa sa 20 rito yung Navy. Or also up by a set.
Suarez. That was Alicando with a quick. Suarez this time to Marcelino.
Ooh.
Good dig. Ball is still alive.
And a net touch coming from Alicando. Alicando had his chance, could not kill and score. Instead, in the return play, Marcelino was checked. And in the rebound transition, puntos ang Vanguard tied at 21 apiece.
And even without that violation, Coach Ron, it would have been a point for the volley hitters. Nobody was there for Navy.
Still, Alicando cannot put that ball away.
Palisok, he's been quiet the last few sequences. They go to Marcelino. Babalik dito sa Navy ang bola. Ball is still alive. Marcelino will try. And that is a point. There was a touch.
Marcelino should get as many touches as possible. Alicando will get his. But for as long as they cannot put that ball down and out and score for them, baka mamiligro pa rito ang Navy Sea Lions.
So Marcelino is stepping up in the absence of Greg Delor here in set number 2 as Villegas will give it to Palisok. Unsuccessful. Good dig there. Marcelino again. Ball is still alive. One hand set.
Finally, Alicando scores. He has to. Kasi multiple chances yung binibigay sa kanya ni Suarez. Saka ang dami. And Christian Marcelino cannot score all the time.
Take a look at that. That was Suarez, one hand set.
Yes.
Papunta kay Alicando.
Pero tumibay na rin ang floor defense dito ng Vanguard.
Little chance at the net.
Mamaganakan with another first ball miscue. Down by 4. 19-15. Now on top by 8-3 set point advantage.
We gotta hand it to the resilience of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions without their team captain. Greg Delor, that was the buklaw on the receiving end of that attack.
Tutuwa ako dito sa batang to talaga eh.
So it's the buklaw.
Kasi tapang eh.
Tayo agad.
Tayo agad. Yan, tama.
Well, right now they're still at set point. It's a 2-point cushion for Navy against the volley hitters.
Volley hitters saving 1 of 3 set points na hawak ng Sea Lions.
It's 22 serving 24. And that is a sorry.
Ahon na eh, no?
That is a sorry service error here for Vanguard.
Believe it or not, the Sea Lions will prevail in this set. Up 2 sets to none laban dito sa hard luck. Vanguard Volley hitters.
What a set number 2 that was for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Talk about resilience for this team, Coach Ronnie. What happened as we take a look at our set number 2 highlights?
Well, I thought that it was a calculated risk by Coach Cecil Cruzada. And I think the bad news right now for Vanguard is that the Sea Lions have believed that even without Greg Delor, they can handle the toughest challenge coming from the Vanguard Volley hitters in this particular set. Definitely better offense for Vanguard compared to those 8 attack points they scored in the first set. Unfortunately, yung Navy tumaas lalo yung offense even without Greg Delor. And they had to thank itong si Marcelino who exploded in the last part of the previous set. Look at the opponent's errors for the second straight time. Vanguard will commit 10 errors. Double figures in 10 errors. That's 10 of the 25 points given up to the Navy Sea Lions. And that will hurt their chances of winning that last set. Sayang, dahil lamang na sila, trangko na sila. But eventually, they just could not finish off the tough unit ng Navy Sea Lions as Coach Cecil Cruzada utilized his or her entire bench to be able to deflate or diffuse yung kalamangan na pinoste kanina ng Vanguard Volley hitters.
And good news for all the Navy fans. We have Greg Delor back here on the court in set number 3. Billy Capistrano with Coach Ronnie Magsanok, and of course our courtside reporter manning the sidelines for us today. We have Alexis Tinsay. So we're gonna expect a much better showing for Navy now that Greg Delor is here, but they did have a very impressive set number 2 against the Vanguard Volley hitters. We will see what will happen and how things will pan out here in set 3. As Marcelino will give it to Villanueva. It's a chance ball now for the volley hitters. Here comes Palisok, unsuccessful. Celis will give it to Villanueva again. Good dig. They go abroad from the back row, and that will be his first point here in set number 3. Vince Abrot has been carrying the volley hitters on his back the past couple of games, and today he is coming up big as well, as expected, as we get back to our game at hand. This time, Marcelino will try, and that will be a point given to Navy, their first here in set number 3. Marcelino was also really impressive there in that second set as we take a look at what happened in this sequence. It will be off the hands of a volley hitter. Great net coverage by Navy. Abrot will hesitate, send it over. Adon is also on the court now for the Sea Lions. They'll give this to Palisok. No go. Here comes Greg Delor. He had a little bit of a rest. And he acknowledges that attack error that was a little too strong for the team captain. Right now, score is at 2-1 in favor of the volley hitters. And in our team standings, they are at 9th place. As Navy gets another point, much to their delight. We are tied at 2-all. Let's take a look at this. That was Alicando. Kamag-anakan challenging the blockers of the Sea Lions. Getting a point for himself here in the 3rd set. The great combination play by Villegas. Padon. Celis.
Wow.
What about that, Coach Ron? That was Greg Delor back in action for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions.
That far away from the net. Look at this. Normally, huli ka na yan eh. But enough power and a lot of spin in that last attempt for Greg Delor.
And that sails outside for Villanueva. Service error for him. Free point for the volley hitters. They're up by 2 points. Padon. They'll give it to Greg Delor.
I think Greg is okay.
Just needed to rest for a little bit. Naninigurado nga lang si Coach Cecil in that second set.
Cecil, I mentioned earlier, Billy, a calculated risk. Putting enough trust in the rest of the Sea Lions that they can get the job done.
Paid off in the end,
yes,
Coach Ron.
Yes, they did. Di binalik si Greg hanggang dulo.
And syempre, nagkaroon ng confidence rin yung ibang players to step up in his absence, which is good for the team right now. We are tied 4-all. But there is going to be a challenge called by the Vanguard volley hitters. They're going to call a block touch. We will see if it will be successful or unsuccessful. As Vince Abrot and the rest of the volley hitters will await the replay and the final call. And right now we are tied at 4-all. Another deadlock here in this game. Let's take a look at this. And there was a block touch.
Good call.
So the challenge is successful for the volley hitters. They get 1 point. And they're up by just 1 against Navy here in set number 3. Very crucial set for both teams. However, that will be a service error, much to the delight of...
Natutuwa talaga ako kay Celis sa Tabuklaw.
Of Tabuklaw, and he...
That was Celis, by the way.
They switch so fast.
Both are very efficient.
Very efficient for Coach Cecil, as well as Alfaro for the volley hitters. They go to abroad. And the referee will give that point to
Coach Cecil.
the volley hitters.
Let me just state the fact that yung service efficiency ng Sea Lions sa nakalipas na pangalawang set, ang laking bagay. Lalo si Entig, kanina pang-spray yung service niya, pero doon sa naghahabol sila, all of a sudden, kumonekta ng gusto.
That was a good save there by Navy.
Oh, nice play. Offensive block by Marcelino. Perfectly timed against the pipe play launched by Vince Abrot.
It's going to be another deadlock in set number 3. We're tied at 6-all.
That's redemption para kay Marcelino after giving up that last point dito sa Vanguard.
Padon serving for Navy.
Buklaw.
They go to Villanueva, single block. That was Diwa. They go to Marcelino. Picked up by Abrot. They're going to chase it. They'll send it over. Marcelino again. Could have been a good save by Alfaro.
Yes.
Just a second too late.
Alfaro's also been playing really well for this team. Unfortunately, yung blocking talaga nila kulang na kulang. Kaya na-expose din talaga na puro floor defense ang kailangan kumuha sa mga atake.
And we see Jairami check in for the Navy Sea Lions and Coach Cecil. Padon to serve. Villegas will give to Tiwa with a quick. Kamag-anakan this time. Gets it.
That was with conviction coming from Hoven Kamag-anakan. Had some tentative moments dun sa set 2 na paghabol ng Sea Lions, but right now scores his first point.
We are now at 7-all. Both teams playing so well here in our third set, and that will be a service ace for the volley hitters as we go to our first technical timeout of the third set. Vanguard in the lead 8-7.
It's not new for us to see Billy and Coach Ronnie the staggering 25-point play of Navy's Greg Delor, but it's also good to see young guns shining under his mentorship. Greg's advice to his younger colleagues who's getting the opportunity to step up and play pro is to always ground themselves in the obedience to their coach, with Coach Cecil Cruzada motivating them to play their own style and be themselves. Greg said it's easier to win when everyone has creative freedom on the court. Let's go back to set 3.
I absolutely agree. Obedience is a must. And of course, humility is always something that one of the players have to exercise. A good launch pad to becoming a better player and a better person, of course.
On and off the court, Coach Ron.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And right now, as we get back to this game, 8-all, another deadlock in set number 3. But Greg Delor is feeling it here. He puts Navy up by 1 point.
Sorry about that. After giving up a service ace, Navy strings up 2 straight points, trying to create some separation between themselves and Vanguard volley hitters. That's an ace coming from Christian Marcelino, who was only 3 of 12 in the first set in terms of attack percentage, but 7 of 12 in the previous set without Greg Delor. So he really was the one who spearheaded that fight back for the Sea Lions after being down by as much as 4 points late in the previous set.
And there is that progression from Marcelino, and we'll see what he can do here in set number 3.
Alam mo, Billy, isa sa tatlong naiwan na players para sa Sea Lions. 8 o siya mang lumipat mula sa Navy.
So he's very familiar with the system of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Has been flourishing also with under Coach Cecil Cruzada's leadership as we get back to this game. 1 point lead
The
for
only
Navy.
female head coach in the Spikers turf. In fact, yung coaching staff nila, diba? Both female. Good fake. Was that Alicando? Yes, Alicando scored 1 critical point in the previous set. Delivers his first point here in set 3 as well for a 2-point lead.
Navy now holding on to that 2-point advantage, as Coach Ronnie mentioned. And Vanguard.
The moment they go for that soft hit, Billy, nagkakaproblema sila, no? Hindi sila comfortable sa mga off-speed.
Which will prompt Coach Edjet Mabayad to call for time here in set number 3.
Tayo rin naman yan, di ba? Tayo rin naman pumipigil na gawin yung gusto natin gawin. Bakit natin yan, pwede natin paluin agad, di ba? Russell, wala ka lang. Pag nablock ka, may coverage tayo. Okay? Magtiwala kayo sa isa't isa dyan, ha? Go. Let's go, let's go. Kunin natin yan. Kunin natin yan.
A good timeout called by Coach Edjet Mabayad.
Very patient still. Making sure that his players keep their confidence and stay away from turbulence. And some bubble right now as they're behind by 3. Taking a look at the team standings once again, Billy, itong team ng Vanguard is in the 9th spot. But a loss here will bring them down into a tie for the 10th spot. Bababa lalo.
It's a very important game for both our squads.
Yes, closer to elimination, so to speak.
Correct.
Wow. Chance para sa Navy na lumamang ng 4. Instead, that attack error will get Vanguard their 10th point. Meanwhile, para sa Navy, first winning streak, kanilang target. The chance to tie BNS for an even 3-3 card at the 5th spot.
Here comes Kamag-anakan on deck to serve. That is outside for him.
That was called in.
That will be inside.
That will be inside. That was called an ace.
That was a very close one for Jovs Kamag-anakan. He'll try to replicate that. Better receiving here. And take a look at that blocking by Vince Abrot. Doing everything he can for the Vanguard volley hitters. We'll take a look at this.
It was a good timeout called by Coach Edget. Suddenly, his players have started moving better and now ties the count at 12.
And he did talk about the importance of trusting one another, Coach Ronnie, and that's exactly what they're doing here. And we'd love to see it. Navy.
Yan ang kaibahan pag naki Greg Dolor. This time pa doon, making sure that they get Greg Dolor to attack for them and score. Ito kasi maski bantayan mo, makakagawa na ng paraan dahil veterano na. Hasa na. At higit sa lahat, gusto niya yung mga ganyang sitwasyon.
Absolutely. And they will go to Vince Abrot again. That's going to be an attack error. Puntos para sa Sea Lions. They're up right now by 2 points.
Looking for an off-the-block point. Instead, that will be a wild swing coming from Vince Abrot.
Jairami to serve. They'll give this to Abrot again. Ball is still alive. Great coverage at the net for the volley hitters.
Greg Dolor ambushed in that last sequence. Abrot putting pressure on the defense of the Sea Lions. And right now, Vanguard still behind, but only by a single point.
Just a slim 1-point lead for the Sea Lions here in set number 3. Villegas will go to Abrot. Just challenging the blockers of Navy. No fear in that attack.
Some shaky plays here for the Sea Lions.
$14-all is our score. Still playable. They'll set it over. That is too short.
Down 4, now on top by 1. Resilience is the name of the game. For the volley hitters, persistence, getting it done for them. Sea Lions committing one miscue after another. Magandang service efficiency rito ng Vanguard.
Espadon will go to who else but their team captain, Greg Dolor. We're tied at 15-all as we take a look at that play.
Greg Dolor will be in the back row after this serve.
They give it to Abrot.
Coverage was nowhere. Suddenly, the set is tight. And we thought that separation was enough for the Navy. Instead, Vanguard will be ahead by 1, entering the second technical time.
We have the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Marcelino on your screens had an impressive second set. And of course, Vince Abrot, the go-to guy for the Vanguard volley hitters, making things happen for the white shirts here in our game. Volley hitters holding on to that slim 1-point lead. And that will be the 16th point for the Sea Lions. They are tied again here in our third set.
Rare point coming from Antique here in set 3. Not in, just enough contact to get that ball across. Tied at 16 here in the third.
Villegas to Abrot. Great combination play for the white shirts.
Good body language we're seeing here from Vanguard after they were almost given up for loss earlier. Abrot trying to rescue this team. We're behind right now by 2 sets. Abrot, first player, double figures para dito sa Vanguard.
And a service error again will tie this game for both our squads. 17 all.
Came up with a service ace earlier, now gives up a service error. 3-point. For the Sea Lions, still no sign of Owen Suarez here in this set.
Padon has been their main setter for this third set. And Navy.
Reception problems for the volley hitters, and that was Alicando opportunistic in that last sequence. Good serve. Over received. 3-point. Navy. 2 straight.
What happened there, Coach Ron?
Miss set. Laging nangyayari sa
Parang may
ganitong-
miscommunication on the part of the volley hitters, and right now, Navy 2-point lead for them
And
all
for
of a
the third
sudden.
straight set, when you get to this point of the set, Vanguard having some problems. Let's see if the Sea Lions will be able to go all the way in this set.
That'll be a point for the volley hitters finally. They're going to try to stop that bleeding and stop that run.
Was that Sel Palisok gunning for that last point para sa Vanguard? We're still behind by, but only by a single point.
Liguro Marcelino, picked up by Alfaro. Liguro Kamag-anakan. That was just too much for Greg Dolor, and he ties this game.
We talked about the need for a second scorer and a third wheel to help out their offense. That has been happening here in set 3 for the volley hitters.
That is outside for Villegas. Babalik sa isa ang lamang ng PGJC Navy Sea
At sasampa na sila
Lions.
sa 20 here in set 3. Every set has been tight.
Marcelino. And unfortunately, that will be a service error for Marcelino. Very crucial one at that. Because right now, Vanguard has reached the 20s as well. We're tied. We got substitutions.
New player coming in, perhaps as a designated server.
Tedones will
Romeo
check in.
Tedones, DNP in their last match, did not play versus the Imos Aja Spikers, a match that they lost in 4 sets. And that was their 4th straight loss. Samantalang ang Navy Sea Lions coming off a 4-set win versus the Philippine Air Force.
Padon.
Good reception coming from Marcelino. Excellent play coming from Padon. Quick, decisive, and swift.
We have Alicando on deck to serve. Villegas to Kamag-anakan. Another combination play here for the Vanguard volley hitters, and it has been successful in this game, Coach Ron.
Better first ball here para sa volley hitters. Very hard to guard those combination plays. And that starts with a good reception.
We are tied 21 all. Another deadlock in our third set. Ball is still alive. They're going to give this one to Vince Abrot. Good defense by Navy. Nobody there for the volley volley hitters, miscommunication for the white shirts.
What can you say about that last point? Finding the donut, reading the defense, giving his team a 1-point lead. That is Gregorio, the captain, Delor.
And what about those service errors, Coach Ronnie? Nahihinto yung momentum ng Navy because of those service errors. The other one was from Marcelino. And now we have substitutions for Coach Ejet Mabayad. De Suyo checks in as well as Barica. And we have Palisok and Villegas taking a little bit of a breather.
Slight play for Entic. Delor was there, Marcelino was there, but Padon deciding to go to Entic. Timeout being called by Coach Ejet. His team down by 1. His team also behind by 2 sets to none.
Dalawa yung spiker, maximize mo, hilahin mo kung sinong gusto mong malibre sa kanilang dalawa. 1, 2 receive lang yan. Okay? Dalawa lang yun ha. Hanapin mo na yung porsentuhan mo. Rick, tagay mo sa receive niya lang. Oh, let's go, let's go. Kunin natin to. Kunin natin to.
Pasa puhunan natin, hindi tayo makakatayo pag wala tayong pasa.
Go, 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 go!
Score now is 23-22 in favor of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Crucial moments of our third set.
Greg Delor, the captain on serve. His team up by 1, also ahead by 2 sets.
And it has been the service errors for Navy here, who has been bothering them. What about Vince Abrot? But that dig though. They'll try Vince again. From the back row, Greg Delor. Buhay pa rin ang bola. They give it to Marcelino. Again, the floor defense is good for both squads.
Wow. Oh my.
And how about Barica from the bench, just making that impact here for the volley hitters.
Very rare missile coming from Tabuklao.
We gotta commend both teams. Their defense has been on point this whole game,
Especially
Coach Ron.
Vanguard, as they were bombarded with multiple attacks coming from Marcelino and Greg Delor.
And right now, 23 all here in our third set. And that's gonna be an attack error. They're gonna call it outside. Let's see if they're gonna call a challenge on that one, but instead they will call a timeout.
Outside. And they got this chance. Instead, they're down by a set point here in the third.
Ipatok mo lang isa, kanina pa yon. Gusto mo kasing baunin. Pagdating sa taas, patok lang walang tao sa gitna eh. Bakit tayo nang gigigil, last one? Okay, tao-tao muna sa blockings, tao muna. Bawat area, tao lang muna. Hayaan lang muna tayo kung kaya nating tumulong.
Patay tayo.
You have Coach Cecil Cruzada for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, a little frustrated during that timeout. Score now 24-23 in favor of Vanguard. So they are at set point, their first set point here in our match. As Padon, they need something here. Marcelino, he is blocked.
And that was not the best reception that they wanted. And suddenly, the volley hitters are still alive. This was a set that was for the picking of the Navy Sea Lions. Instead, we will go into a fourth set.
We're back here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. And the Vanguard volley hitters stage a comeback in that set number 3 as we take a look at our highlights. Of course, it was another impressive set for both our teams. It could have gone either way. The latter parts of that set 3, we did think, or we thought that it was going to go for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. However, the service errors of the Sea Lions.
Hindi lang yun eh. Pati yung errors, to be exact, not just the service errors for them. 7 only, but those came dun sa oras na naghahabol ang Vanguard. And that was, I believe, also the best set para dito sa Vanguard in terms of their attack points. Mataas pa rin yung opensa ng Navy. But I thought that defensively, Vanguard was better than them. Nakikita natin yung blocks ng Vanguard. Eh? That is how well they defended. And in those times, lalo sa dulo, na pwede nang pumuntos at patayin ng bola, mapatay yung bola ni Dolor at Marcelino. They did not allow that to happen. And eventually, in the return play, Abrot will score for them, and Palisok also had some key points for them in the latter part of that set.
Set number 4 underway. We have Raz, Palisok, and of course, Greg Dolor.
Balik na yung mga starters except itong si Alicando.
We have Vince Abrot as well, kamag-anakan. And what about the defense of Alfaro for the volley hitters as we start this 4th set? And the Vanguard volley hitters, they draw first blood.
Iba na ang kumpiyansa niyan ngayon. Maangat na yan.
Siyempre yung momentum rin, Coach Ron, nasa side nila because of that impressive 3rd set and how they ended that 3rd set. Owen Suarez is also back here for Navy. As
Sa
Coach
bagay,
Ronnie
pili kung
mentioned.
tutusin mo, the first 2 sets were sets that they could have won. Referring to the volley hitters of
Right.
Vanguard. But eventually 2 sets that the Sea Lions stole from Vanguard.
It was better composure also on the part of the Vanguard volley hitters to end that 3rd set. And that is why we are here in our 4th. They're going to give this to Greg Dolor. Good dig. Abrot from the back row. Great floor defense.
Nice.
Joust at the net. They go to kamag-anakan. And that will be a point for Navy. And they will call a challenge talking about the Vanguard volley hitters. So early challenge here in our
Ball in,
4th
ball
set.
out. Yes, ball in, ball out.
So naninigurado na rin si Coach Edget Mabayad. Every single point counts, especially in such a close game like this one. For those who just tuned in, Navy won sets 1 and 2. Vanguard, the previous one. It is ball in. It's going to be ball in for the Vanguard volley hitters. A successful challenge for this team and Coach Edget Mabaya to start things off here in set number 4. We have Joves kamag-anakan on deck to serve for the white shirts. And they will send it to Dolor. Palisok. Another point given to the volley hitters. Better start for them.
Some mistakes earlier from Alicandro, from Jairami, and eventually it all added up doon sa dulo. It was very hard for Navy to close out this match in the 3rd set, even if they were ahead late in the 3rd.
That was Alicando up top.
Tinan mo si Entig. Taking out rather back, and he'll be at the front line in this rotation.
Villegas.
That's Fernandez.
Clark Fernandez with a quick.
He was very steady late in the 3rd, even from the service line. A middle hitter para dito sa volley hitters.
Suarez will give this one to Greg Dolor. Cross court is good for the team captain. we take a look at that sequence one more time. Now is a perfect time for Greg Delor to come alive here in this fourth set.
He has to. Kasi ang Vanguard, isa lang ang tangka eh. Get their second win and stop a 4-game losing streak and still keep his hopes alive of making it to the semis.
They're going to chase that. Delor sends it over with a tip.
Out of system play.
Makes it work.
A break ball. No problem for Greg Delor. Ties the score at 4. Ayan, oh, wala na eh. What about the hustle play coming from Owen Suarez? Eyes at the back of his head.
We're tied at 4-all here in our fourth set. As Villanueva will serve. Villegas chases it. Gives it to Vince Abrot. Suarez. They go to Delor again. And this time, they will award the point to the volley hitters. But there is another challenge on the part of Coach Cecil Cruzada. So again, another early challenge here in our fourth set. As we await our replay just to check if it will be unsuccessful or successful for the blue shirts. Again, we are tied 4-all. And it's proving to be a very exciting matchup between both our squads. PGJC Navy Sea Lions, they're at 6th place. Vanguard at 9th. And we are inching closer to our semifinals, which will happen in a couple of weeks.
And the reality is, one win will push you up, but a single loss will just drop you closer to being eliminated. Ganun kabigat yung kinalalagyan nila pareho. Yes. Greg Delor was right after all. I think this is the first successful challenge of Coach Cecil in this match.
It's a good call on that challenge for Navy. That will be a point for the Sea Lions. Great eye also by Greg Delor, spotting that block touch. As we get on with this game, Villegas back set to Palisok. That cross court is good.
Through the block coming from Palisok. Coming alive. Good misdirection coming from Fernandez. Because he has scored earlier, at least a couple of points. Defense also keeping an eye and marking him to free up itong si Fernandez. Rather si Palisok.
5-all right now. Intig with a slide is no good. They're going to send it over.
Aray.
Little scrappy plays here for Navy, but they make it work. That was Owen Suarez.
That's the second time this has happened in this set. Earlier, a rescue from Greg Delor. This time, with this broken play and nothing happening, Suarez with the presence of mind finds the opening.
Great volleyball sense, court sense for Owen Suarez as well. They're going to chase that. They give it to Palisok.
Excellent rebound play from Diwa.
Diwa has been silent the past set.
Well, he scored in the first set. At least 2 to 3 points. It's been quiet ever since. Spirited unit for the volley hitters, even if they are behind right now by a set.
Suarez to Intig. A little too strong for Jemmy Intig. That goes outside. Vanguard up by 1 point. As we have some substitutions for Navy.
Sapida coming back for Intig.
Vince Abrot now on deck to serve for the white shirts.
4 points scored by Intig so far.
Suarez one-hand set, and Sapida misses it. A miss hit for him. As we go to our first technical timeout of set number 4, Vanguard takes the lead 8-6.
taktika ni Coach Cecil Cruzada ng PGJC Navy Sea Lions towards the end of the third set. Nakulangan ng Navy ng sigla even if there was sudden miscues towards the end. Coach Cecil reminded that their speed and blocking capability against Vince and Raz from the other team. Huwag paabutin ng fifth set kung kaya naman tapusin ngayon, and that is meeting with communication. Back to you, Billy and Coach Ram.
I believe that the previous set was something that's going to haunt the Sea Lions if ever this match goes to a fifth and final set. Kasi kuha na nila yun.
There is that confidence now in the part of the Vanguard volley hitters, and you can see it in the way they move. However, the PGJC Navy Sea Lions keeping it close here in our fourth set.
They needed that last point. Marcelino once again has to rise to the occasion as itong kanilang team kanina naghahabol ng tatlo. Unti-unti, tumataas ang kumpiyansa ng volley hitters. They're still ahead by 2 points at this stage of the fourth set.
Villegas. And that was Diwa with a quick attack.
Tama yung sabi ni Ai na wala yung blocking dito. Nawala yung sipag sa depensa sa net. And with the way the White Shirts have been attacking, marami nang pinupuntahan si Villegas ngayon na nakakatulong offensively.
3-point advantage now for the volley hitters as Owen Suarez will give it to Greg Dolor, the team captain.
Marcelino and Dolor will have to pick up the slack. More offensive weapons right now for Villegas on the flip side. But Owen Suarez has to get these two key players more touches for them to overcome a 2-point deficit.
Villegas finds Palisok. No go. Marcelino will give it to Villanueva.
Oh, there you go. A third scorer. Another scoring threat. Another scoring option. Absent in the previous set, did not play. But here in the fourth, they need Marvin Villanueva to be another point of attack.
Chance here for Navy, and they choose Marcelino. Puntos para kay Marcelino, and he is having himself a game today.
And this could be exclusive for Marcelino and Dolor, and perhaps a sprinkle for Villanueva. Those three leading scorers para sa Sea Lions will have to come up with a big performance to close out this match.
We're tied at 10-all as they're going to send it over as Owen Suarez gives it to Dolor from the back row, and they're going to save it. That was a good dig though by Vince Abrot, saved by Palisok. And how about Alecando? Unsuccessful. Almost could have gotten that point. But now Navy gets that lead 11-10.
After being behind by as much as 4 here in this set.
Villegas will go to Kamag-anakan. He is blocked.
Well read by Marcelino. Down 4 on top by 2. 6-point swing. Di sumama yung mga blockers. Actually, sumama. Nabutas yung 2-man wall. Mukhang may timeout dito for Coach Ejet. And remember the timeout that he called in the previous set. Set the tone for that huge fight back. Enabled them to steal set 3 away from the Sea Lions.
Madali na feeling natin, ang laki na ng hinahabol natin. Hindi. Pag bumalik sa atin, dahan-dahan lang, itaas lang natin ang dun sa pinapadala ni Benok. 1, 2, itaas lang natin. Huwag natin madali yan. Kuha natin yan, kuha natin. Okay, nakukuha na yung galaw eh. Kaya lang, pag nagtatagal ng balikan, minamadali natin. Ha? Russell, kalma lang.
Error lang natin nangyayari. Sayang yung mga umangat na bola. Salita na ako nakukuha. Wala na. Akin yun, akin lahat. Hey, Vanguard!
It is now a 2-point lead for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions.
Which is a luxury at this stage for them dahil hindi sila lumalamang dito. Habol, remate, gawa ng paraan. And now the leaders for this unit, Dolor, Marcelino, and Villanueva, stepping up to the plate together with Owen Suarez.
That has been the story of both our teams here in our match today. Dikit na dikit ang laban as Vanguard cuts the lead down to just 1.
And again, Precise timeout called by Coach Edget Mabayad. Works well for them. They get 1 point back. They get to 11 points. Trying to equalize and get this set back to square one.
Diwa serving. Suarez will find Marcelino. As Villegas gives it to Kamag-anakan. That is outside.
Look at the reaction of dun sa Brot.
That is outside for Kamag-anakan.
Sayang, may pagkakataon. Unguarded, isolated. Will not get that ball down and score.
It's back to a 2-point advantage for Navy. Marcelino now with 18 points in today's game. Double digits for him. Great blocking.
Again, based on Ayus report, yan yung hinahanap ni Coach Cecil. Dun sa nakalipas sa third set, puro floor defense na lang yung sumangga. At dumipensa dyan now. They're working hard again defensively. They were out-blocked in the previous set now. The Fire is back with their net defense.
3-point push here for Navy.
Saka hindi na masyadong sumasala sa service line ng Sea Lions dito, Billy, compared to dun sa third set. But the Volley Hitters get one back. Point number 12 for them. Down 2-1, behind at 14-12 here in the fourth set.
Jos Kamag-anakan. He will serve once more. Suarez to Villanueva.
Marcelino, two-way player right now. Look at the very good first ball. And then a misdirection. And then Villanueva, the southpaw, delivers down the line.
You got Navy with a combination play of their own as Villegas will go to Palasok, answers back. Labanan talaga ng mga matatapang dito sa ating fourth set. Raz Palasok, and he will be on deck to serve for the white shirts. Good serve. Suarez will find Villanueva.
Wow.
Good dig. That was Palasok with a pickup. Suarez again to Villanueva. Ooh. Gets that point.
Challenge.
There will be a challenge called by the Vanguard Volley Hitters. Right now the score, Navy with that 2-point lead. Vanguard 13. As we await to see the final call. It's going to be a very crucial challenge here. And it is inside, clear as day.
Kalahating bola, pasok.
So that's going to be an unsuccessful challenge for Coach Edget
And we
Mabayad.
reach the second technical timeout with Navy with a 3-point lead.
Set number 4, Navy at 16, Vanguard Volley Hitters at 13. Amazing volleyball that we are witnessing today here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center.
And every time we get to this part of the set, dito tumitindi yung laban. Yun lamang dito sa particular na point na ito, biglang nawawala.
Correct.
Yung naghahabol, yun na nakakalusot. Tignan natin kung yung trend na yan ay manatili.
So this set can go either way as Vince Abrot will try, unsuccessful. They go to Marcelino from the back row. What a dig!
Husay talaga yung batang yan eh.
Kamag-anakan. And he will get that point for the volley hitters. 2-point lead now for Navy.
Errors will always hurt. Increase your lead. Close out the match. Navy had 7 errors in the previous set.
And we have substitutions, or a substitution here for Coach Edget. Fernandez will take a seat as Tedones will be on deck to serve for the volley hitters.
21 errors heading to the 4th set para sa Navy. Para naman sa Vanguard, 10, 10, and 6. 26 errors for the Vanguard team heading to this 4th set. 3-point lead still stays with Navy, trying to close out this match.
That was a service error off the bench by Tedones. Greg Dolor with 16 points here in this game. Villegas will go to Vince abroad.
Ooh.
And he is fired up, Coach Ron. And why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he be? Take a look at that.
Tingnan mo yung reaction sa service line.
15 serving, 17. Early celebration for Vince abroad. And also, you know, you can see both teams are enjoying this game.
May warning na. Ayan na. Oo. Kasi,
Masyadong nag-enjoy.
alam mo, nanonood kasi ako dun sa mga off-the-bench players. Kanina pa sila.
Nagsasagutan,
may
diba?
antics eh, oo. Akala ko nga tatamaan tayo dahil dito nagdadaan eh. But, that's part of the game.
It's just nice to see that both teams are enjoying this game.
You think?
They're having fun. You can sense it. As Villegas will go to Palisok. Good defense by Greg Dolor. They give this one to Marcelino.
Nice.
Good dig. They're going to chase it. No. But it is inside. It is inside. And they were going to let that go.
Lucky play. Breaks of the game. Dolor was there, but he deemed it that it was going to
He just let it go.
out.
So a point will be awarded right now to Vanguard. They are down by 2 points. Villegas serving.
Over received.
Chance here. They go to Palisok. No go. Suarez to Marcelino.
Nasa likod.
Alfaro will give it to Kamag-anakan. Good dig. Ball is still alive. They send it over as Villegas. Ball is still alive. It's got to be a little bit stronger than that. They just weren't able to send it over to the other side. And Vanguard takes that point. It's a 1-point lead right now, Coach Ron.
Oh yes. Fight back is on. Nabuhay yung volley hitter sa set 3 win. Andito, yung mga errors ng Navy, keeping Vanguard alive.
We will see if Vanguard will be able to complete their comeback. As Suarez gives it to Greg Dolor.
No warning yet from the first referee. Some reminders here from the second referee though.
So we can see, well, you can't see it on camera, but the team, the Navy
Masaya
team, they're
sa
having a bit too much fun on the
kaliwat
sidelines. They give this to Villanueva as Villegas will find Palisok, and he is blocked. Navy gets the point. 3-point advantage now for the blue shirts.
And
Let's
if
take
they
a look
are
at it.
able to close out this set, the net defense is going to be one key element para dito sa team ng Sea Lions. Suddenly, the net defense is on fire for Navy.
Doon mo padala. Tapos diyan ka mag-combination para ito isa. Okay? Doon padala. Receive natin ha. Receive. Doon dadalhin. Taas natin. Meron ko na diskarte kung kanino niya bibigay. Okay? Simplehan lang natin. Simplehan lang. Russell, pasukan pa rin na makita.
Sa akin yun ka. Tol, nag-aangas ako tulong. Sige.
This is our 4th set. Raz Palisok on your screens. What are the standouts here for the volley hitters? And what about Marcelino doing great things for the volley hitters as Owen Suarez will serve. Balisok.
Ooh,
Picked up by Suarez.
that's too much. Oh,
Suarez now to Alicando, but he is denied.
golden chance for the white shirts. Another golden look para sa Sea Lions. Instead, it turns out to be a free point.
We will
Or a
have
point para dito sa Vanguard on that nice block laban kay Alicando.
and we'll have substitutions here for
Ito na naman.
Coach Edget
Yes,
Mabayad.
yes.
We have Fernandez checking in as we see Diwa. He will serve 18 serving 20. And there's some sort of miscommunication on the part of the Navy Sea Lions. Nobody receiving that ball, nobody picking it up. Let's take a look at this. A lot of hesitation on the part of Navy.
Tinilaga ni Villanueva.
So it's now a 1-point lead for Navy as they go to Marcelino.
Excellent first ball coming from Tabuklaw. In this type of a situation, kailangan matapang ka.
Take a look at Marcelino coming alive here in today's game.
In today's match, no doubt. Even without Jude Garcia.
Villegas to Balisok. Gets that point. Back to a 1-point advantage for the Sea Lions. It's going down the wire, Coach Ron, here in our fourth set.
Every set has gone down the wire. Although meron isang set na 8 yung panalo ng Navy, pero dikit yun hanggang doon sa bandang dulo.
What a great match we are experiencing right now as Greg Delor gets one of his own.
It may not be a 25-point game for Delor, but they still needed him to be at his best here in the fourth set.
Also, a lot of his teammates are stepping up in this game. We have Marcelino. Of course, Villanueva as well. Good net defense. Suarez gives it to Greg Delor. Ball is kept alive. Good dig. Chance here for the volley hitters as Villegas will find Vince Abrot. Off the block is good for Abrot. 21-22, but still in favor of the Sea Lions. Substitutions for Coach Edget.
These were the same personnel that helped Coach Edget secure that previous set.
Tesuyo serving as Suarez will go to Villanueva. Good dig. Buhay pa rin ang bola. That will be a point. That will be a point for the volley hitters. And don't look now, we are tied 22-all as Coach Cecil Cruzada will have to call for time.
Tapusin natin to ha. Tapusin nyo to. Pag nyo matapos, mag-ensayo kayo bukas. Sige. Focus kasi sa laro. Ayaan mo sila.
Let's go. Pakukunin ko yung blocker. One good receive. Papatayin natin to, Frank.
Patayin nyo yan. Tapusin nyo yan.
And you heard it from Coach Cecil. If they do not win this game, they will be having